Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the Sunday services at Center for Spiritual Living, Denver. We are a loving and prospering community in the heart of Denver and online. We now conduct hybrid services, continuing our transmissions online weekly, as well as meeting in person on the first and third Sunday of each month at the historic Grant Avenue Community Center and Sacred Place, located at 216 South Grant Street, Denver, Colorado. All are welcomed here. A place, space, and face of love. We are a spiritual community practicing universal principles that enrich our lives. We are grateful that you have blessed us with your presence. While online, we'd love to know you're watching with us. Feel free to leave a comment and let everyone appreciate you. With everything going on, life can feel overwhelming. CSL Denver wants you to know we are here for you. Please know that our practitioners are available for personal prayer work. Our licensed spiritual practitioners' names and phone numbers are available on our website at csldenver.org. Or if you have a prayer request, feel free to email it to info@csldenver.org. For your convenience, you'll find clickable links in the description of this broadcast. Rev Elzia, along with all our guest speakers, practitioners, service coordinators, and musical inspirations, want you to know how truly grateful we are that you are with us today. Thank you for your continued support and participation in our services, workshops, and events, as well as providing financial contributions to our center. If you're interested in upcoming events and information, we send out weekly newsletters. Sign up by visiting www.csldenver.org. Presently, on the first and third Sundays of every month, we deliver services in a hybrid format where we meet in person at 216 South Grant Street. We will also continue to live stream all services on Facebook and YouTube every Sunday. Find us on our respective channels as well as on New Thought Media Network. At the conclusion of our service, we welcome you to connect in fellowship. Join us in person on the appropriate Sundays or on Zoom every week. If this will be your first time joining us online, please send an email to info@csldenver.org with fellowship in the subject line. We'll reply with the Zoom link. Again, thank you for your precious attention. Now prepare for engaging enlightenment.
presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Good morning. I'm Tim Hancock, practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living, Denver. I invite you to close your eyes for the invocation. For surely the presence of God is in this place. The divine presence that is in, through, and all over its creation. That magnificent creation that is love, compassion, joy, and us. And as we move into today's service, we know we are truly blessed with beautiful weather outside, with the loving, caring companionship of all who are in this hall with the in-person service. We know that Reverend Elzia with his message is blessed, just as my words are blessed, just as Robert and Diego and Bill with all their technical support are blessed, which means this service is absolutely blessed from the highest. We just simply acknowledge the fact that we are abundant and that we are joyful, that we are loved, that we are passionate. And we bring that out to the world. And so it is. In our reading for today, we're talking about sense of belonging for the month of December. So our reading today is the need to belong, also known as belongingness, refers to a human emotional need to affiliate with and be accepted by members of a group. This may include the need to belong to a peer group at school, to be accepted by co-workers, to be a part of an athletic team, or part of a religious. Sense of belonging involves more than simply being a part. It is centered on gaining acceptance, attention, and support from members, as well as providing attention to other members. The need to belong to a group can also lead to changes in behavior, beliefs, and actions as people strive to conform to the standards and norms. What inspires people to seek out? In many cases, the need to belong to certain social groups result from sharing some kind of commonality. For example, pop culture, interests, religious beliefs, shared goals, social economic status. Our need to belong is what guides us to seek out stable, long-lasting relationships with others. It also motivates clubs, sports teams, religious groups, and community organizations. There are steps you can take to increase a sense of belonging. Make an effort. Create a sense of belonging takes effort to put yourself out there. Seek out activities and groups of people with whom you have common interests and engage with others. Secondly, be patient. It might take time to get acceptance, attention, and support from members of the group. And thirdly, practice acceptance. Focus on the similarities, not the differences, that connect you to others, and remain open to new ways of thinking. Belonging is a big deal to us humans. It is to really be a part of something, to feel truly wanted and accepted, to be connected to others in meaningful ways. And for Ernest Holmes, life is an infinite energy coupled with limitless creative imagination. It is the invisible essence and substance of every visible form. Its nature is goodness, truth, wisdom, and beauty, as well as energy and imagination. Our highest satisfaction comes from a sense of conscious union with this invisible life. All human endeavor is an attempt to get back to the first principles, to find such an inward wholeness that all sense of fear, doubt, and uncertainty vanishes. Okay, now to our musical selection, Keep On Walking by Gary Lynn Floyd.
Song I wrote with my buddy Jamie Lula. It's called Keep On Walking, just an encouragement to you. I love you. Walk a mile or a minute in another man's shoes. He's got a path to take to find his truth. Any way you spin it, he's a lot like you. Finding his faith on roads that you'd never choose. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Love be your only mission always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Tell a tale, you're in it. You're a brother man's blues. You got a destination now and no excuse. Why do you condemn it when it's not your own? You can't unsee it once the light has shone. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Love be your only mission always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. All right, you have a part on this song too. It goes like this. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. Sing it with me. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. One more time. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Love be your only mission always. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your Let's sing it one more time. Here we go. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Yeah. I love you.
Good morning. And welcome to CL Denver, a place, a space, and a face of love. A spiritual community teaching ancient wisdom and utilizing universal principles to embody the intelligence of the divine and to empower our lives and the lives of others. First and foremost, I want to thank Gary Lynn Floyd for that song, Keep On Walking, because that is what required as we move into the theme for this month, which is the beloved community, everyday wonder of the community. And today we will look at this whole idea of a place to belong, a place to belong. Now, if we look around the world today and we look at all of the going ons, if you will, it is more evident than any other time that we need this idea of community and belonging more than any other. When we look at some of the acts and things that are going on within our neighborhoods or our families or the world at large, there is this tension that cries out that I want to belong. I want to be a part of something. I want to be looked at or viewed as a valuable participant in whatever is going on. And so today we want to look at this whole idea of belonging, and I want to turn this idea of a community on its head, so to speak. I want to look at the essence of what it is. Because the normal definition of community is a social unit or people living in an environment or in a place. And that's partly right. However, the essence of it is an invisible force that awakens and unleashes itself when it is needed. When something happens in the face of adversity, when there are jobs to be done, it is the collective intelligence, physical and spiritual attributes of the people that populate the place or the area or the family. So really, a community is this inward feeling, this energetic feel that manifests itself in some kind of physical presence. It's not the place itself. It's not the group of people itself. It's the attitude. It's the insight. It's the work. It's the love that creates this thing called community. Thus, a community exists is not a place. It manifests itself in action, but it's not an action. It can come from a tribe of the sameness, but it is not necessarily the people or the sameness that matters. Community is a channel through which friends as well as foes are present. So when we think about this friend of foe, most people would say, well, why would I want a foe in my community, in my presence? But when we look at this statement from Reverend Jim Lockhart, he says, when we come into community, we are recognizing the soul's call to commune with others in actualizing more of our potential to love and to be of deep service to creation. To be of deep service to creation. Because you see, if everything is like me, I'm not going to learn much. And quite frankly, I might get sick of myself, or I might get sick of you if you just like me. Because, it might be fun for a while, but after a while, it's going to be, oh my God, we got to go through this again. It looks just like me. They get mad at the same thing. We laugh at the same thing. It is the variety, the diversity, the inclusiveness that makes community, that really creates that energy that allows us to move about and be fulfilled, to be utilized. And it is in that container of community that this whole idea of place to belong emerges. Because it is a field of energy that we learn what this meaning is, right? It is an emotion beyond appearances. I'm going to say that again. It is emotion beyond appearances. When one feels understood, they feel needed and valued. When there is an interpersonal connection that is based on respect. That is based on respect. Today we have so much disrespect, whether it's in broadcast news, social media news, on the street corner, in the back room, wherever it is, it's prevalent everywhere. Because people, I would submit, don't feel a belonging. Everything is antagonistic. Now, we know tension of the opposites is a growth point. So we know it's not going to always be a bed of roses, right? We know there's going to be some changes that need to take place. And if I'm comfortable with where I am now, when you ask me to change, I'm going to say, I think not, right? Because I'm comfortable right here, right now. You want me to get out of my comfort zone. But if we look at life, from the conception to where we are now, there has been a constant change going on. And each time we move into change, we have to find a new sense of belonging. The way you felt belonging to a group or whatever when you were 6 is not what you did at 16 or 26. And so we understand that as all energy fields, they can tend to grow. And it's not just the people that make the community, it's every sentient thing in that community. It is the plants, it is the animals, it is the air itself that creates this community, that creates this environment, this field that allow us to feel like we belong. Because it is this expression of community that creates an inner space where not only the individual, but the community itself flourishes. It's that inner communication, that exchange. You ever had a friend or you ever been in a relationship where you finish each other's sentences? Where you've been around each other and you understand each other so well that you could finish their statements or they could finish your statements. There's a sense of belonging. There's a sense of living in a place where I feel welcome. I can let my own energy field move out and you can read that field, because at the essence of life, we call it energy, we can call it Holy Spirit, we can call it many different names, but there is a connecting force that everyone is looking for, everyone is vying for. And it's just like air or food or water. You have to have it. There have been many studies of children who've grown up in somewhat isolation with no contact with others. No loving embrace, no kind words, no support, and no antagonism, right? And when they look at these individuals' development and growth, not only mentally, but physically, it is stunted. because it is an exchange that needs to take place. It has to take place for us to live a wonderful communal life. And now, what does that look like? Well, that communal life has all types of aspects. The first one is self-awareness. We have to be self-aware of who we are and where we are, what space we're in. I can't just say, I can't go in a crowded room and say fire. I'm not self-aware at that, right? We have to be self-aware. We have to show empathy. Everybody's at different levels or stages of growth. A big one, we have to be honest and have integrity, and that starts with self. That starts with self. Now, being honest doesn't mean you don't have some bugaboos. We all got bugaboos, but I need to be honest about my bugaboos, right? If I try to hide them, or if I try to act like I don't have them, everybody in the group is going to say, okay, I'm not taking that very seriously, because everybody has problems. Everybody has things they're looking to overcome, to grow beyond. And when we can be honest about that, we create an integrity within ourselves that allow us to say yes to life, to say yes to community. It creates an environment for people to want to belong, who want to belong. And I think one of the most important things of belonging is a willingness to learn. Is a willingness to learn, because we have to learn each other. We have to learn myself, right? I'm not the same person I was yesterday. I was in a 5-hour meeting yesterday, and trust me, I am not the same person I was yesterday. But I am willing to learn from that experience and see how I can maneuver to make others feel better, to make me feel better, and to belong. And so we look at this idea of place to belong. We're going to 3 points, 3 spiritual truths that are inherent in creating that environment. And that's one thing we're trying to do here at CSL Denver. And this one is this: we are like islands in the sea, separate on the surface, but connected in the deep. William James said that. Because that brings up, we have to be willing to challenge our core beliefs. We have this belief that we're separate, but at a deep level, under the ocean, where we can't see, we're all connected. And we know that everything in the universe is connected. Air is connected to water. Why? Because it's H2O, right? There's a connection. We know the plant is connected to the soil. And if we eat the plant, then the plant and the soil is connected to us. There is no separation. It is only an appearance when we step out of line of understanding what true community is. Dalai Lama said this: our ancient experience confirms at every point that everything is linked together. Everything is inseparable. It's inseparable, whether we realize it or not, whether we acknowledge it or not. And so our call for this month, as we move into the new year and looking to move beyond some of the things that are facing us, is we want to establish communities of belonging, not communities of location, not communities even of a faith tradition, because I can be a part of a faith tradition and still feel like I'm not a part of it. And what we want people to do is feel a part so they can actualize. So that's the first thing we need to do, is challenge your core beliefs to know that we are not separate. We are not separate. The second core truth is this: true belonging only happens when we present our authenticity, imperfect selves to the world. Our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. By Brene Brown. And if you know any of Brene Brown's work, she is looking at your core system there, trying to get you to be honest, to have some integrity, to know that we're always in an evolutionary process. So the magic word is be authentic. Be authentic. And that unfortunately requires some homework, right? Because we need to go and make sure we understand explicitly what it means to be authentic. And as she said, it means showing up with our flaws as well as our greatness. There's a saying that goes, there will always be someone who's greater or lesser than yourself. So don't get caught up in the superficial about somebody's better or so I'm better and get a judgment or arrogance, because there will always be someone in a lesser or higher place than you. Your charge is to bring forth your gifts. True belonging does not require that we change who we are. It requires that we be who we are. We're not asking you to change to belong. You know, you see these groups that they call cults, right? And everybody dressed alike and speak alike. That's not belonging. That's not a true essence of community, because it begins to deny my gifts, your gifts. And we need that to be present 100% of the time. Well, all right, 85% of the time. How about we go with 85% of the time? Because that's what's needed. And now the last thing that we need, and we really need to understand this in a world today where that first principle of inseparability is being violated. And that is just looking at separation. In the Bible, 1 Peter 4:10, it says, as each has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. We all have a grace from God, a gift from God, a way of helping, a way of being present and presenting ourselves to the world, which creates diversity. Imagine going to a rainforest and you got all the same trees, one animal. Really ain't no rain. It's just like a little stream. The purpose of a rainforest, as an example of what diversity looks like, is that itself. Each thing supports each other. And the beauty of each thing is explored, is highlighted, is accentuated. So let's look at ourselves, if we will, like a rainforest. We'll take the snakes out. We'll take the poison snakes out. I know. Because they got so many things in that rainforest that is just insurmountable. And I want to bring up a old movie. If you haven't seen this movie, it's a Sean Connery movie called Medicine Man. And Sean Connery is going down to the Amazon looking for medical cures. And he's in a battle, if you will. He has a foe. I won't say enemy, is a foe. Because they don't know what they're doing. They're destroying the rainforest. And he's found this plant that has a cure for cancer. But he has to rush against time because they're cutting down the trees and they're trying to make roads and they're doing all these things that are destroying the community. That connectedness, that interdependence between everything within that rainforest. And so let us look at ourselves in that way so that we begin to recognize and understand the diversity and honor the diversity and challenge it when necessary. No, we're not asking for passivity. We're asking for action, to be active in life, to be active in the community. So that sense of belonging means I have to be responsible. I have to be accountable. I have to be yielding. And so when we can move beyond our core beliefs, and when we can unconditionally look at our self-acceptance, and when we can really begin to practice the idea of diversity, the beloved community and the idea of belonging will manifest itself. You don't plant out there every day. You plant the plant in the right environment the right ingredients and the right sunlight, and it takes care of itself after you give it the right environment. And that's what we need today. We need to create environments where people belong, where some of the things that are taking place don't happen. All of the shootings we've had. I mean, I heard something the other day. There's been 631 mass shootings this year. 631. And we're going to pray that no more come up, but we still got a few more days left before the year is over. So let us put our trust in a divine understanding, a wisdom that is present, that inherently creates a sense of belonging and community between all of us. And when we do that, we can move forward with this idea of love, as Al Green would say, love and happiness. And to do that, we have a call to action as always, because these are not just words to ponder and feel good. They are, but they also are looking to inspire us to do something, to have an action, to make a presence. And so when we look at the call to actions, there's two things. The first one, what do I need to have a sense of belonging? That's a question that we each must ask ourselves. And when you find that out, you have to let others know. It is not just a theoretical thought. It's a thought that you think about so that you can ask for what you need so that you can feel belonging, a sense of belonging. And then you ask the second question, what can I do to make others feel a sense of belonging? So right there, we got a conversation going. If this thing is working right, I have to ask you, you have to ask me, I have to tell you, you have to tell me. We have to begin to do this if we're going to create the beloved community, a sense of belonging. And so as we think about those today and the rest of the week, and even into the rest of the year, as we move into the holiday season, think about what that means. Because one thing we here at CSL Denver, we're taking that into the new year to a new level. As you heard the introduction that we were meeting on the first and third Sundays, we are now starting in January. We will be meeting every Sunday in this location for you to come and create a beloved community, for you to be involved. We got all kind of ideas and things that are being planned. We need your help. We need your support. And we want to create an environment that you feel a sense of belonging, a sense of where you can be valued. So please join us as we start the new year, begin to create a vision of a community, a place of belonging. And so with that, we want to bring up the affirmation for today. Wherever I go, I belong. Wherever I go, I belong. So with that, let's go into prayer. Heavenly Father, Mother God, that dual aspect of life that is the source of creation, that is the source of belonging, that is the source of the interconnection of all life. It is this understanding and it is this intelligence we rely on to guide us, to uphold us, to heal us when we are looking for a place to expand our horizon. And so as we begin to develop at a different level, this invisible sense of community, not bound by a location, not bound by some sense of sameness, but bound by the opportunities to share gifts, to inspire and encourage each other to grow, to be of service, not only to ourselves, but to mankind. So we gather here today, and we look forward to gathering every Sunday in January and the years going forward to create a place of love, of support, where you can express yourself. Because we know that there's no place where God is not, and there's nothing that is impossible with God. And so we know right here, right now, that every one of us that's here, that's online, and that will maybe hear this later, we declare that we are free from any impediments that will keep us from being our authentic self. Because no matter what we are, no matter who we are, we have unique gifts from the divine. And so it is in that idea of the gifts that we all bring together to make this beloved community a place of belonging that I give thanks. I give thanks knowing that whatever needs to be worked out will be worked out. Whatever needs to be healed will be healed. And each and every one of us will step forward with a smile and a gift. And so with that, I release these words into a law, a process that is automatic. It's like planting the seed, that we plant the seed, it will grow when we give it the right environment. And we know that this environment, the environment of the divine, is all there is. And so with that, I release, I go, and I know that this prayer is absolutely so. And so it is. Amen. So we thank you so much for being with us today. We look forward to seeing you in person as you come and help us continue to build this community as we move beyond some of the circumstances that has fostered this feel of unbelief or unbelonging. And so now is that time where we are so grateful for everyone who supports CSL Denver, whether it's with time, treasure, or talent. And especially now as we begin to change into a new way of living, a new way of creating community. Whether this is your first time or you're a continuing participant in our services, we thank you. Right now, you'll see running across the bottom of the screen the many different ways you can give, whether it's through text, on your phone. You can go to the website, www.csl.org, and hit the donate button. But however you give, we thank you. And so now, if you will place your hand across your heart, if it feels comfortable, and read our affirmation, this perfect gift is spirit-informed, circulating and blessing all that it touches. Freely I give, and joyously I receive, and so it is. Amen. Peace and blessing. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you, Reverend Elzia. Beautiful message. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, we have found, and these are the announcements, by the way. We have found that trying to do Zoom fellowship when we meet in person hasn't been doing very well. So until we can figure it out, we will not be doing Zoom fellowship on the Sundays that we meet in person. For instance, we have a Zoom fellowship today, but next Sunday, December 11th, when we're online only, we will. If you think you're confused, you should have tried to write this thing. So, but not when we meet in person, but only when it's remote. Also, if you want to hear some good news of the world to offset some of the other stuff going on, we have a link on our first Facebook page called "And Now the Good News." And this program is put together by New Thought Media, Reverend Robert Brzezinski, and a whole host of cohorts of his. And it airs on Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. You can watch these anytime during the week, by the way. And just go to Center for Spiritual Living Denver Facebook page, click on any post that says, "And Now the Good News." And now for some really great news. As Elzia had already mentioned in his talk, starting January 1st, and yes, we will be here on January 1st, which is a Sunday, Center for Spiritual Living Denver will be meeting live and in person every Sunday, as well as live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to continue to conduct our services here at the historical Grant Avenue Community Center and Sacred Space. I'm not as hysterical as I think I am. Anyway, we're at 216 South Grant Street in Denver, and that's 1 block north of Alameda on Grant. So starting January 1st, 2023, join us in person. If you can't join us in person, you'll still be able to watch us online as we continue our broadcast on the services on Facebook and YouTube. But I'm telling you right now, being here in person is such a divine energy that you don't get watching it online. And that's my truth. All right. Meanwhile, we hope you all have a happy week, a blessed week, and we're on the back stretch of 2022 and moving into 2023. So we know 2022 has been blessed and is perfect in all that it is. We look forward to a fabulous and prosperous 2023. And now let's close out with Michael Gott singing, I Release and I Let Go.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. You gotta let it all go. And this is what you have to say.